Hey guys, John here with a look at Rainbow Six Siege, and today we're going to examine the retail game's performance. First things first, it's been known for a while now, but it bears repeating here. Rainbow Six Siege operates with two different frame rate targets depending on the mode. Basically, any mode with artificial intelligence enabled operates at 30 frames per second, while player versus player is full on 60. Some adjustment period is required when jumping back and forth, but it's an interesting choice nonetheless. Alright, so let's kick off with a look at the PvP here on Xbox One. It looks and runs very well the overwhelming majority of the time, as you can see here. You get a nice 60 frames per second update with fast, responsive controls. Now, as with many other titles this generation, we see an adaptive VSync solution in place with tearing lines limited to the upper portion of the image. It's not something you'll run into regularly, thankfully, but we did manage to run into it in a number of matches. So just when does this happen, you ask? Well, in our experience, there are primarily two specific scenarios in which performance drops can be observed. First and foremost, when starting a mission outdoors, there are certain maps which tend to exhibit performance drops. You can see exactly that happening right here as we push forward into the map. The frame rate dips below 60 FPS and tearing is introduced. Moving forward, the second type of situation in which slowdown can occur revolves around explosion effects with plenty of alpha. As we blow up the floor here, for instance, watch as the frame rate drops. The lowest recorded drop we encountered sees the Xbox One version dropping to around 45 frames per second. This particular match here is far and away the worst case scenario we found, however. The good news is that this is a rare occurrence and it's entirely possible to play through several rounds with barely a hitch. So how about PlayStation 4? Well, we see similar things here as well. The frame rate can drop in the same sort of situations, resulting in mild screen tearing and slowdown. As on Xbox, these dips tend to appear outdoors in select maps, or while engaged in a particularly hairy firefight. The overall level of performance we encountered is indeed higher on PlayStation 4, but Rainbow Six Siege is an incredibly variable game and it's almost impossible to obtain like-for-like footage. When looking at both console versions here, however, it should be noted that obtaining footage with noticeable slowdown required a significant effort on our part. What this means for the players is that the general experience on offer is a stable 60 FPS, regardless of your platform. But what of the terrorist hunt then? This mode, along with the game's single-player challenges, sees it drop to 30 frames per second. According to Ubisoft, the demands placed on the hardware with AI enabled were simply too great to achieve a stable 60 FPS. Moving directly from PvP to terrorist hunt can feel initially off-putting, but once your eyes adapt, the experience is fairly solid. Both consoles turn in very stable performance in terrorist hunt. Once again, we spent hours playing this mode of the game attempting to drop the frame rate, and simply failed to run into any issues on either platform. For all intents and purposes, our time with the game playing this mode delivered a locked 30 frames per second. Okay, so that about wraps up things here. I'll go ahead and leave you with some extra footage of the terrorist hunt mode on both platforms. And if you're looking for more juicy analysis, be sure to check out the rest of our YouTube channel for more. And until next time, this is John off to barricade some doors.
Hostage located. Secure the hostage. got the hostage. Get them to the extraction point.